Why did you not take penalties if you were like the best
Why did you take
striker?
penalties, Coley?
12
I don't know
yards.
why we're starting there, but we
How
are.
far that is?
No.
Well, you know how far 12 yards is. You know. Nah, I didn't believe that if I took penalties, I would justify myself if I'm going to play and be a goal scorer.
Okay.
That was my mindset, you know. If I can't do it in open play, I'm not good enough.
But you would have.
Do you regret it now? Do you regret not taking penalties?
No, I don't. But everyone keeps saying to me, "Oh, you're an idiot. You should have took penalties."
But you would have fancied a Coley, wouldn't you? You would have
I
fancied
would have
yourself.
done it if someone said, "No, yeah, go on, Coley."
You must have
crack
took
on
one
with
in a
it."
shootout. No, did you take any shootouts?
We didn't do shootouts, did we?
No.
Didn't get
The odd one.
Didn't get there.
When?
That's the cup final.
Who took the penalties then?
I wasn't there then.
I was there then.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
The FA Cup final against Arsenal. Well, you can't then. You
Yeah.
must have been gone, right?
If I was there then.
Penalties.
Then Brucey,
Dennis, Brucey.
Eric,
See, I couldn't.
Yorkie took a few.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand on the pitch while a centre half taking a penalty or a fullback.
No, hey, but
My head would be gone.
Saying that
Brucey-
Brucey was
No, but
good,
Brucey,
yeah.
Brucey and
Brucey get
Dennis.
20 odd goals one
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
Brucey was a good finisher, man.
I know, but still.
No, he's him. He was good.
You know what, as well with Brucey, remember that Sheffield Wednesday game when obviously he was doing some centre forward playing that where you're thinking, wow, this man could play up front, man.
He's a
The
good
link
footballer.
play, yeah, he's really good.
He was clever, Brucey.
Yeah.
Anyway, Coley, let's go back to Arsenal when you started.
Okay, when
at
I was a kid,
Arsenal,
yeah.
When you were at Arsenal.
Yeah.
And Ian, I've got a quote here from you.
Sure.
When I went to Arsenal, Coley was someone that they said, no, he's never going to score more than 10 goals because he's lazy. But when he played in games, you could see that he did something. And when he went to Newcastle, he frightened the fucking life out of everyone. He's still someone to this day that doesn't get the credit. When people talk to me about the top end of the Premier League, it's absolutely ridiculous. Is that that's a fair quote?
From Righty?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, I wouldn't say I was lazy, though.
No, I'm saying to you, no,
Yeah.
that was the suggestion.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is,
we
what
spoke
Coley
about
did,
this
see,
many
remember
times.
when I got to Arsenal, Coley was obviously then, he was younger, he's coming through. And like people like Pat Rice and Geordie Armstrong, you know, when I'd watch Coley play when he was training, remember we played down at Brighton in the reserves.
Yeah.
It was really cool. And I said, how comes what's going on with Coley? They said, yeah, you know, he doesn't seem to have that drive for goal. He doesn't seem to have that hunger for the goal. And it was really strange because when we played, I think we played at Brighton, we both scored, you know. And I couldn't understand it. But then, did you go to Fulham on loan?
Fulham first, yeah.
Fulham, yeah. And I said, how come we loaning him out? But then it just went on because you just noticed as it was going on. And then some of the times, like, Coley would be training and they're warming up, and Coley would be a bit further behind them, and then they'd be quite vexed about that. Obviously, I didn't have the patience with him, but I don't know when it happened for him, but I always use him as a goal scorer that can go from people thinking you're not going to do it to actually doing it. When he went to Bristol, you started to see it. When it was Bristol, when you started to see it, but then Newcastle with Beardsley in that, it went somewhere where I honestly, it went supernova.
Yeah. Did you feel that at Arsenal, that there was a sort of little bit of lack of love for you in those days, that you
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it was hard work. I just think understanding. They didn't want to understand. I think especially with George, as you know, George was hard work at the best of times. I mean, I think in those days as well, they didn't really have a lot of respect for the younger generation, as is YTS.
Yeah.
Just like proper mug you off.
In what way, Coley?
Just the way they used to just dismiss you. I mean, like, right, it's that their perception you're not working hard enough is that, oh, he's arrogant, he's got an attitude and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's not like they want to get to know the individual. It's just like straight away the perception is, oh, this is what we think. So I remember when I left and Boldy and Lee Dixon and all those guys were saying to me, they said, oh, we all said to George, you should never have sold him. Never have sold him. And they were saying, oh, same thing again. Oh, he's not going to score enough goals in the Premier League or whatever it's going to be. This is that. I just decided I just want to get my head down. And that's what I did. That's why I went to Bristol City instead of going anywhere else. Go there, take that step backward to try and move forward.
When did the goals click though, Coley? Because remember, like I say, when they said he won't score more than 12 goals a season, what happened at some stage where it was just happening? Did you get, you know, when you start scoring, you just say, I want to score all the time. When did it happen?
No, I genuinely believe I could always score goals. But when I was playing the youth team, I was doing different things.
Just playing.
Yeah.
What kind of player were you then, Coley?
For me, I always used to get on the ball.
Right.
Always used to get on the ball, create, score goals or whatever it may be. And like it wasn't until you actually play league football as well, you start to understand like scoring goals is very important. I mean, because don't forget, when you're a YTS or a young pro, you go on loan, you don't understand how the other half live. You know what I mean? You've got guys that need to pay mortgages, got kids, got whatever you like. yo, when I'm at Arsenal, I've not got this. You know, so that's when the penny kind of like drops and you understand it a little bit more.
What was it that George Graham didn't like about your style of play? Would it have been pressing from the front or not being a target man or what? Because obviously they did have a few target men around that time, didn't they?
George didn't like me from day one. George just thought I was arrogant. So you know me, I speak my mind when I have to. Everyone says I'm a quiet guy, but you know, Nev, when I'm ready, I will speak my mind, and it's as simple as that. And I did that a few times. And obviously, he didn't like that I was speaking my mind. Just like Pat didn't like it at times, or Geordie Armstrong. But for me personally, I'll get it off my chest when I believe the time's right. And I did that. They didn't like it. And yeah, I remember I made my debut for Arsenal. And everyone believed that, right, Coley's going to get a chance now. And then he shipped me out on loan. I ended up going on to Fulham, then went to Bristol City. And then I remember I was just about to play a game for Bristol City, and Pat Rice called me in the hotel. And he said to me, Coley, Derby County are interested in you. I said, oh, okay, Pat. Is George prepared to sell me? He said to me, Coley, I'll be back to you. I'll come back to you. I saw Pat about 2 years ago at Emirates, and he still didn't tell me then. I mean, that's over 20 years, you know, but in that time, naturally, they sold me and that, and that's what I was dealing with, you know, a lot of nonsense like that.
When that happened, Coley, how did you feel? Did it knock your confidence, or did
that really
you have
revved me
doubt?
up.
Or
Yeah, that really revved me up. Yeah, because Dennis Smith brought me to Bristol City, and basically he'd done all his money, like 500 grand. You know, so he'd done all his money, and Dennis said to me from day one, I will not stop you from going anywhere. Yep. You know, if a club comes in, I'll let you go. And he was true to his word. Unfortunately, before Bristol City sold me, they sacked him. So I was off thinking, oh, there's no way now I'm going to move on. Oz took over, Russell Osman. Same thing, just said to me, Coley, you're too good for this level. If we get a good deal for you, you're off.
Who was the players that was helping you with the goals? Because that's when the goals started.
We had Leroy Zinnia, Wayne Allison, Jakunovski. Oh, bloody hell. He could play.
Yeah.
He could absolutely play. And they were all good with me. You know, I mean, they was all saying, look, this level, you shouldn't be playing at this level. And they all pushed me on.
You're learning your trade then, aren't you?
Yeah.
The amount of stories that we hear from players who, especially at a big club like Arsenal, where the expectation is to go and buy players. Young lads, it is hard, and sometimes it is. It all panned out fine, isn't it? I think sometimes Coney's on about learning his game and playing league football. It's a different animal to that youth stuff and reserve football. So I think that was just part of your
journey.
Yeah, part of your journey, of course.
Because you were enjoying it, did you feel like that's why you were scoring goals, relaxed? Did you enjoy that time?
Yeah,
Was you driven?
Yeah, you know me, I've always been driven. Yeah, but I was enjoying it. I think the loan periods, when you go away on loan as a young kid, that's where you learn a hell of a lot. You know, because you understand football, what football is, especially at that level.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what elite level is about. But that level, you get it. You know, there's people doing things that they have to do, they have to win, they've got to do this, you've got to do that. So for me to go in and experience that at such a young age, you know, I think later on in life I'm turning around and saying to myself, well, I've been at that level, I know what it takes.
Yeah.
Newcastle was a great move here, wasn't it? The Newcastle.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Because it came about quite
Perfectly,
quickly,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Man, that totally come out of the blue. I remember when they spoke to Bristol City, and I remember speaking to Kevin, he said to me, I saw you play one night and you bandaged knee up and all that stuff. He said, yeah, from there I said, yeah, I need to sign you because you want to play when you're injured. You know, but for me, I just want to play football. You know, it's like I said, it totally come out of the blue. And I remember Kevin saying to me, can you come up like the following morning? I was like, no, I can't make it, I'm doing my laundry. Like, he was on the phone like, well, can you make it in the morning? And I said, yeah, I could make it in the morning. And I remember speaking to Lee Clark. Lee Clark's my big mate and that. And he was saying, oh, Coley, just come. I remember saying to him,
Were you hesitant about going, Coley?
Yeah,
Is that what you were saying? You weren't
seriously.
sure about it, right?
Seriously,
And what were they offering? Not you money.
Yeah, what was the price?
What was the deal they were giving
the
Bristol?
deal, 1.75. Right. I think I said 30% sell on.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And I remember saying to Clarkie, Clarkie's near Scotland, by the way.
It's a long way off.
Yeah.
Massive club, Newcastle.
I said, it's a huge club, but I said,
club.
Man, do you know how far that is? And he just said to me, come on, Coley, I'll look after you. And Kevin, yeah, to a certain extent, yeah. But when Clarkie said, come on, you'll score goals, I'll look after you, this, that, yeah, go on, go for it. And I just went for it from then. I mean, I was in a team that were playing real good football. They was promoted. I think 12 games to go. And they kept saying, oh, we need you, Coley, to get us over the line. I'm not saying that, that's nonsense. I mean, 12 games to go. You guys are in a strong position. I mean, you don't need me to get over the line. Made my debut, come on sub against Swindon, and then the week after he put me in the team, and I got 12 in 12.
Did you get 12?
Yeah, 12 in 12.
Wow, so
where it
from
started.
going in the team, were you just in then and then
Yeah,
12
yeah.
and 12? Wow.
Yeah, I was surprised to be even in the team because they were playing so well.
Yeah.
But
Who
even
was up front at the time?
Ned Kelly. Yeah, but he was just desperate to get me in the team because he was desperate just to try and get promoted. Winning the league naturally, but I just want to get promoted.
Yes, and Beardsley.
Yeah.
See, again, you see when you get a player like Beardsley, like even with me at Arsenal, you get someone like Limpar. They want you to score. They would rather
get as
pass
much joy with the assist.
Honestly, they would pass it to you if they're a yard out. That's the kind of player you want to play with.
I grew up watching them too.
Yeah.
Obviously, we went to Everton.
Yeah.
Who was the left-footed midfielder at Newcastle at the time? Left midfielder. He was
Scott Sellers.
Yeah,
Sellers, bro.
he was decent,
Nice
wasn't he?
Really lovely footballer.
He's got a few assists for your call.
Yes. Yes.
When you said earlier on, Coley, that George didn't understand you, I must admit, when you first came to United, I sat next up at one to you. Obviously, you sat here, and I sat here. I found it at the start thinking, because you do have that look, even now, you know what I mean? You have that look on you. And you know what I mean?
Gary's
got
a
it
bit
now.
Is he
scared.
going to hug me or kill me? Is he going to hug me or kill me? He hasn't. But you don't let people in easy, I would say. 'Cause you don't suffer fools, do you?
No. What's the point in doing that? No, that's... come on, Nev, you know me now. You know what? I don't like people who take liberties. I'm just me. And I've always tried to be me. I mean, so obviously, like you said, it took you a little bit of time to get used to me and that, but once you knew me, you know what I'm about. Yeah. I mean, you know I play football to win. Like I said, I don't like people taking the mick, you know, but we all get on and have a laugh and joke. As you said, I'm a quiet guy, but when it comes to it, push come to shove, I'm at the front of the queue.
That was that time at Newcastle. That's obviously when I was growing up thinking like I really want to be a football player and growing up watching you. I was in awe. Obviously, there was yourself. There was at the time Michael Owen had just come through.
Yeah.
Fowler, all these players, and I remember watching, just thinking, that's what I want to be. It was so good watching it, and then like mid to late 90s, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah,
What?
good stuff.
Go on, you go.
No, I was going to say, did you go, so 1.75 million to Newcastle, and then did you leave Newcastle 7 million, was it?
Yeah, 6 million.
Wow.
And Keith Gillespie, yeah.
Wow. So it was a successful... How long were you at Newcastle for?
2 years.
Oh, 2 years.
2 years. And I think everyone seems to think I was around a lot longer,
Yeah.
you know, but 2 years.
Usually when a striker comes to United, obviously that was a big fee at the time, but I remember my mindset when you came in is, I never doubted you. I never thought, you know, usually you just chat in the dressing room or, you know, how will players settle in, but I was just like, well, no, they'd be fine. You know, there was never, maybe because obviously my mindset, what you'd done in Newcastle, there'd always be question marks, particularly strikers at United. It can be hard going, but I remember thinking, I never once, I don't think ever doubted you were going to score loads of goals. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You had a bit of a swagger about you, Coley, which you need, as we know, at a big club.